Okay, I'm down here at the hives. It's getting dark, so I've got my headlight, but it is really cold. You can see this hive behind me. I have put insulation around the outside. For most of them, I have a little insulation up in the top. There's one that doesn't have insulation in the top. So what I'm going to do is put a little insulation in the top of the one that doesn't have any there, and then I'm going to wrap some of the other hives. I've got to be out of a town for the next week, and it's going to be down in the 20s a lot and low 30s. So I'm just going to, as a precaution, to wrap up some of my other hives. So that's what I'm out here trying to do before dark. It's already very cold. It's already down into the upper 20s, and it's just 5:30 or so, not quite 6 o'clock here in Alabama. All right, that's what this is about. Here's what I'm going to put inside the cover of this particular hive. You can see it has no inner insulation, so I'm just going to put that in there to help keep heat from escaping out the top. It's called Green Guard Project Panel. I have used that, and another is not that expensive. You can get it at most any hardware store. In fact, that and this insulation, I think I bought them at Lowe's. All I'm doing here is just taking the top box, and I'm just going to take my knife and cut along the edge and then cram it in there and stick it back on top. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll take this and I'll put it on top of this so that this will be sealed in. Okay, so you can see I just put some insulation inside this box, and I've got an internal feeder in here, so they still have access to that, but it should stop any heat from escaping out of the top of the hive. I'll put this lid over top of it. All right, so we at least made some progress with that hive. You can see I've got a solar light there in my little planter, and I like having one down here by the hives. A lot of times I get in after work and just want to come down here and check on them, or just need to do, a few little things before I go in for the night. And so I just find it helpful to have a little solar light down here by the hives. Okay, I'm back out at the hives. I am going to put some pollen patties in a few of them to help them out while it's cold all this week. It's going to be very cold. Highs in the low 30s, lows in the teens. And I am making sure that there's sugar in all of my internal sugar feeders. And then I'm putting a little bit of pollen patty, especially in a couple of the hives that are not going up to the sugar feeder. And so hopefully that'll help them out, in addition to the honey and bee bread that they have inside the hive. Now it is very cold, so I don't know if they'll last. But my bees have been bringing in a lot of red pollen lately, and it's likely from this henbit dead nettle. I mean, it is just all over the backyard here. As you can see, I mean, it is all out through there. This insulation is called Reflectix. You can get it at most of your hardware stores. I happen to have bought this at Lowe's. I cannot believe that a bee just came out of that hive. The temperature today, I believe, is 28. Yes, it's 28 degrees, a low of 27. It's going to be down in the teens on Monday. It's going to be very, very cold. Let's see, Monday high 30, low of 18. Tuesday high 30, low of 19. So that's why I'm out here today. I need to finish insulating these hives. You can see I've got insulation on this one. All of them have some kind of insulation inside the upper lid to try to keep hot air from escaping up the top. So I did this one some last night in the dark. So I'm going to try to wrap these other hives, at least 3 sides of them, to try to help them out. I'm going to be gone all week, and it's going to be very, very cold. Now, one of the things I do is I will tack this one again, but I only tack on the upper box, and here's why. If I need to go in and add pollen patties, I want to be able to separate the boxes to slide it in there and not have to worry about this insulation keeping me from opening any of the boxes. In this hive, the cluster's up top, so I can just lift this inner lid here and slide a pollen patty in. But if I go over here to this hive chose to cluster in the bottom box. And so even though I've got a piece of insulation across the front here to help with air getting in there, it is stapled only on this upper box. So I can lift this box right here up, slide a pollen patty in right on top of the bees, and be fine, because I don't have, you know, it's stapled in the lower box. So anyway, that's why I only staple it to the upper, because it allows me to lift it if I need to. Yeah, if you just saw a bee go in and out of this hive, I can't believe they're flying this 28. That's the second bee I've seen come out of that hive. So it's fairly unusual. Okay, this hive, it's a little different. I don't know if you noticed the other ones I did. I wrap it around the back and have been leaving the front open. A couple of different reasons for that. It makes it easier for me to get in and out. Also, the front entrance still looks the same for them. Here's the challenge with this particular hive. They actually come in from both sides. This is the front, and bees do come in from this side. You can see the entrance is right there. That's the main entrance right there. I've got it down pretty small, keep the air out. But if we walk around the other side, we're going to find that most of the bees don't go in there. Most of the bees go in here. There's an opening. It's got a screen bottom, and apparently that screen bottom has a hole in it. So most of the bees actually go in from this south side up through the bottom. Now I wedged this close so that it would help on the airflow. I may open that up just because if it warms up, that's the side they're most apt to go out. This side of the hive, it's the side that most of the bees come in and out of. It also faces south. So, you know, this is just the approach I take. Others probably have a better idea. This side gets more sun, this side here. And so it's going to warm up better and faster when it is when the sun's out. It's the side that I'm trying to leave looking relatively normal, so that as bees do go out on a warm day, the entrance looks similar to what it has, so they don't get confused. It's the other side that faces north that gets the least sun, and that's the side that I have chosen to insulate. This insulation is basically, it's just a bubble wrap down inside of there. So I put a staple just there, and there, but I stapled to this upper box so that I can still slide my hive tool in there if I need to lift this box up and slide something in. Though with most of my boxes, the cluster's up here at the top, and they do that because the hot air rises to the top. That's usually where they go. All right, what I've done here is, since this entrance on this side looks different, what I've done is put sticks. One of them dropped there. I put sticks in front of the entrance, so when they go out, they have to work around those sticks, and that forces them to reorient, kind of rememorize what the entrance to the hive looks like, so that when they come back, they'll be able to get back into it. So there's 8 hives here, but only 6 of them have bees. You can see this one is sealed off. There's nothing can get in the entrance. Same with this one here. I just left them out here, just well store them here as anywhere else, but I sealed the entrance so nothing can get inside of them. And so I've got 6 hives here, and so what I've done is I have sealed them. If you go around behind them, basically on the north, east, and west sides, they have a layer of insulation on the side away from the sun. The side toward the sun is the side that's not insulated. Now, inside of each of these, I do have just pieces of this insulation. So, for example, if I lift this up, I've just got a piece of that insulation to try to help with cold air escaping, or excuse me, warm air escaping out through the top. So anyway, those are just some things I'm trying to do to help them get through a really cold snap. And it is much colder here in Alabama this year. We're in February, middle of February. In fact, tomorrow's Valentine's Day. It is much colder this winter than it was last winter. So I didn't even think about doing this last winter. But hopefully that will help them out. All right, I'm going to add some sugar here. You can see the bees in this hive are up in here eating the sugar. It's really cold today, but they are coming on up in here. They're not letting that stop them. So I'm going to put some more sugar in there. Try to do it pretty fast. You can see also the ladybugs get up in here and try to survive off of the warmth from the bees. Quite a few up in this one. I don't know if they need sugar. I'll just try to get a quick glimpse. Lots and lots of bees up in there. There we go. Alright. Grab this one and put it back. She won't make it out here. Give me a second. There you go. I'm not going to try to put any more sugar in there. They've got quite a bit of sugar. They're up in there eating it. What's good? There's another one. Let me get her off my finger. Drop her back in there. Okay, I took this pollen patty. I just cut it in half with my Hive Tool. And I like it to be a little thinner, only about half this size. It fits better in between the boxes, or between the frames and the boxes and the upper frame. And so I'm going to slice this one in half, and that way it'll just be thinner, and because I want to slide it in on top of the frames, right in on top of the bees. And I just want it to be easy for them to get to it. When it's really, really cold, they don't like to break cluster. They're not going to generally go very far to get food. So I don't want them to have to go far to get food. I want the food to go to them. So just going to cut this in half. You see it's a little bit thinner, and it just lays in there better and allows the bees to get to it a little more easily. Alright, this is another hive that colony that was not going up into my internal feeder, so I'm going to see if I can Okay, I've done about all I can do. The 6 colonies I've got out here, I've got them insulated. I've given them some extra food, so hopefully they'll be okay.
Run, Charlie, run!